Hello, my name's Chris Kirkwood. I am the Franchise Director at Sourced, and I've brought you today to one of the buildings that we own at Sourced and we're adding to our portfolio. And actually that's an interesting point because we weren't always going to add it to our portfolio. That is our plan B. And that's what this video is about. This video is all about the importance of a plan B, because with this one, plan A is no longer viable. So we've had to resort to plan B because that is the viable way to complete this building. You can see it's all been rendered. We're getting towards the end of the development. There's a bit of work going on inside, but it should only be a matter of weeks before this is finished. So now's the time that we have to make that decision. Do we go with plan A, plan B, or maybe even plan C or D? So I've brought you inside now to see just how close to being finished we are. Now originally plan A was to divide this commercial building into flats and sell each one of those flats individually. But because of the recent increase in rental prices, it now seems a more viable option for us to retain the building, refinance the building, rent out the flats and take that rental income from the flats. Now alongside that, we had an option and we have a relationship with a company called Serco who offer fully repairing and insuring 7+3 year leases. Seems like a bit of a convoluted way to say it, but that's exactly the offer that we've got from them. A 7+3 or 10-year lease for these flats, fully repairing and insuring, which means that we don't have to spend any money on the upkeep of these units when we hand it over to them. Now, because rental prices have increased, the price that Serco are willing to pay us to take these flats has increased as well. That gives us a better return, and therefore that's our plan. So even though we're making the decision now to go with plan B and go with that, with renting it out, refinancing it and holding on to the property, is now the time that we did that due diligence? Well, of course not. When we were originally doing the due diligence for this project 12 or 18 months ago, we made sure that we understood exactly how a plan A, a plan B and a plan C looked at that time. We also did a market projection and had a guess at where the market's going to be by the time that we had to make that decision, and we came up with a sensible idea as to how it would look. Now it just so happens that in this case the rental market's performed even better than we were expecting, which is why we've then made that decision to go with plan B. But for all of the projects, for all of the property projects that you're doing, you have to make sure that you've got that plan B behind you as a safety net to give you the reassurance that even if plan A doesn't work, even if the market completely changes, and look how volatile the market's been over the last 12 months, for example, it gives you that safety net to know that you've always got a different way out that is still going to make you money, or it's going to work well for you. So here at Sourced, that's one of the benefits that we offer to our franchise network. So anybody that decides to become part of Sourced, they get a support person. For any deal that those franchisees find, they run it by their support person, and their support person not only checks the viability of the first deal, plan A, but they look for different options. They look at a plan B or a plan C. Now, if the franchisee hasn't got plan B or plan C in place, the support person can help them put it there to make sure that if they decide to move forward with that deal, if their offer is accepted on that deal, then they've got sensible options for the exit of that project.